Here's what
Awesome.
he says. He says, I'm almost done with the first quick pass of reading, then I'll go back to make some comments. Lots of good stuff here. The history of New York improv is especially valuable. Gee, I've been wondering about that because I get into great detail about the New York scene. And then with Chicago, it's like, and then they came up with a lot of different forms. Okay, moving on. No, I
Well,
give IO. IO's
it's
got
your
its own
experience,
section.
though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I
Yeah, you can't
wasn't
write about
there.
what you weren't really there for, right? Like you can
They
refer
don't
to it,
say
but
write what you don't know. Um,
Or research.
we did lots of research.
You gotta do that research, bro.
Yep, that's
come
what
on,
you've
bro.
always been about, Raj. That's your middle name.
Horatio Research Sands.
Yep. Like when he was in Clifford the Big Red Dog, he had to play a one handed man. And he went all around the world meeting people who have lived with one hand.
And then I realized my dad lost his arm.
Oh my
I
gosh,
could
I've
have
never
just
made that
I could have
connection.
just asked him.
Wow, it's right there. It's always under your nose all the whole time. You didn't have to
I
go
think
to
you should call your book
Bahrain.
"Live from New York Improv." It's Michael Delaney's experience.
That's a great title.
No, if I really want to make the book about me, I had a couple titles. One was the D Ching, um,
The D Ching.
the D Ching. Tommy
Okay.
Chong had
Your
the
last
I
name's
Chong.
Delaney.
I got the idea from Tommy Chong because he did I Chong, and I thought, if he could do the I Chong, I could do the D Ching. But no, then I thought,
So,
it's got to be about Harold. So the book for the longest time was just called Harold and then a byline. But one day Drew said, Harold be thy name. And I thought, oh, that's fucking good. Harold be thy name. So that's the new
That's a
name of
good
the
play.
book.
and is the focus? Maybe I shouldn't ask, but is the focus more on the on your history of the improv scene? No.
No. Harold's the star of the show. So the first half of the book focuses on five innovations, starting with kitchen rules back the Elaine May, Del Close, Ted Flicker days, and then the discovery of Harold. We explain the whole fucking discovery of Harold, totally break down the archaic Harold, what the mechanics of it was, how it worked, what the opening was. It's exhaustive. I do talk about my old theater NIT because they taught the archaic Harold. That's where I learned it from. But it's all confirmed by the papers that I found from written by archaic improvisers back in 1969. And we print a lot of that in the book too. Then it moves on to the innovation of the Harold, the three beat Harold as established by IO. And then that burst of forms that came out of what I call the improv renaissance in Chicago. And then ending up with the fifth innovation being game in the whole New York scene. That's the first half of the book, is really the history of Harold in long form, in depth. And then the second half is just
My,
some
you know,
aesthetic
my
stuff.
just to add something to the Herald for kids out there that are doing improv. I suggest my big thing for improv for doing a Herald is get out in the first two scenes. Get out there. Get out there and don't sit on the wall and wait. But go ahead. Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
For anybody who's in their head, they should get out and try to get in a scene as early as possible. Absolutely, because I used to be back in my head back in the old days when I'd try to sit in with the UCB, and Walsh was like, "Just get out there in the first scene," because I guess I would be sometimes a wallflower, hang around on
Yeah,
the wall and then finally get a scene in. Because ASCAT can be a little intimidating for people who aren't in the flow or don't do it a lot.
As a teacher
sure,
too,
sure.
you see it all the time, when you see a student back, and they're hanging back or whatever, and you're just like, hey man, everybody else is fucking up too, so just go out there and do something,
Yeah,
You
it's
know
like
what to do.
go
that's
take a
part
few
of it.
bullets. You're gonna need it. You're gonna
That's
need
part of
it,
it
right?
too.
Yeah.
That's part of it too, because I used to notice myself and like, hey man, you're just like waiting for everybody to get warmed up, but you're not taking the bullets that everybody else is taking out here. As the audience gets warmed up to you, as everybody else is warmed up, some jokes aren't
Mm-hmm.
working. You want to just hang back and just wait until it gets warmed up. And that's not fair to the rest of the cast or to the audience, too. Just go out there and take a risk, and
Yeah, and this is
Everybody's
this is
got
kind
a
of for me strictly just
everybody's got a
for
walk-on idea for
students.
the good
Once
scenes,
you
not the bad ones.
once you get good at it, you can wait and do whatever you have to do. But I think this is for mostly for just kind of like when you're starting out. And a
Yes.
huge part of it's failing. It's like hitting in baseball. If you hit 1 out of 3, if you get 1 out of 3 good scenes in a class or in a show, you're like, hey man, that's pretty good. you know. So
And you don't want to go
so it's
down
like a
not
lot about
swinging.
failing.
You don't want to go down looking at balls going by. You want to at least try to get some wood or
go out
get
swinging.
out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a bat on the
Go down
ball. Yeah,
Yeah.
swinging.
make a play.
We're talking
Yeah,
about Michael Delaney's new book he's working on. It's about improv. It's about the Herald mostly, he's saying,
well, to me,
which is a game. It's a
for the
form
purposes of my
of
book,
improv.
Harold and improv are Harold and long form are interchangeable. In my estimation, all long forms are the many faces of Harold. The way that who was it? He had the god with many faces, the god with 1,000 faces, Joe Campbell. So we have Harold as the theater god with 1,000 faces, the many faces of Harold. Because every time you create a new long form, those are all different expressions of Harold. It's all Harold with different masks. Can improv
We
help my
have a
writing?
comment.
It definitely can, Kevin Sheeny. That's what at least that's what Mike Myers says in the beginning of Truth and Comedy. Mike Myers has a little thing that says whenever he's stuck when he's writing, he always goes back to the ways of the Harold, and it gets him out of it right away. And when I first read that, I'm like, how the fuck does it do that? Because I tried the Harold, and I wasn't very good at it when I first tried that form of the Harold. And I was like, and how would this thing even possibly help my writing? But now I see crystal clear how it could help your writing.
Sorry, guys.
Even if you just
try. Oh,
it's
get my
okay.
other. Get my
Even
No,
if
I
you
like
just
it.
do a little
It's like
pattern game.
Jerry Todd. Jerry Miner's like Jerry Todd. He's doing video effects.
And a good morning to you.
Uh,
It's 10:16 on the West Coast.
Well,
Oh,
Bob
hey,
Odenkirk's
I'm sorry
brother.
to interrupt. Lunar Spunk's got a good one. As I Delaney dying. As I Delaney dying. That's a pretty good epithet.
all right, my improv book starts on 9/11. It just runs through my whole day. Jerry's a big part of it, of my 9/11 improv book.
It's a blow-by-blow account of what you did on 9/11.
Yeah, and then I think just right. We go to the theater and we're like, we got to get back.
Oh, he's
So a
too
couple
big.
days later.
It's an appropriate time for him to glitch, right?
You remember how many days it was after 9/11 that we came back?
Full auto tune on 9/11. 9/11.
You mean to SNL, or you mean to the improv? Because it was like the improv. It was, I think, in a couple of days after 9/11 that we went on stage. It was that Sunday. It would have been that Sunday.
I want to say it. Yeah, 2 days after. Yeah, so that Sunday
Yeah,
happened on a
9/11 happened on a Tuesday.
Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a Tuesday.
David Cross
Tuesday.
did the monologues, and it was
Really?
Also, we kicked off with the ASCAT.
Yeah, with an ASCAT. I think that might have been the first show that we had in there, or maybe not. Maybe there might have been some other shows in there.
It wasn't, Jerry.
It was a smaller show. It was more personal.
It was. I
We
remember
did a
doing that. It
Harold-
was a smaller show.
Are you talking UCB?
Yeah,
We did a Harold night on Thursday. There was an ASCAT, but
Thursday.
of course it happened on Tuesday. We closed on Wednesday. Thursday, we muddled through a Harold night because I remember I had to do one of the Harolds, and we all wanted to be there. None of us really wanted to be performing, but we needed to get through it. You just needed to get that, and there was nothing you could initiate that did not lead back
I know
somehow
it's
to
somehow
9/11.
yeah.
It was
That's
impossible,
yeah.
and so
It was the
we
same
just
with us
talked about
too.
that.
Yeah.
It was the
Um,
subtext. It was the subtext of every scene.
It was the subtext of
all
life.
right.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
What's going on in pop culture?
Well, the headline is I wish it was Christmas today. Um, uh, and you know, they
Oh,
have Christmas in July. People really get ramped up for Christmas, and
Christmas
it
is
does
coming
take off
fast
extra fast.
because isn't it like 10 days from now? What day is it?
No, 15. Today's the 11th already.
Yeah, so 13 days if you celebrate Christmas Eve like I do. Open
Uh-huh.
my presents at midnight. Uh,
Uh,
that's for
we we open we open one on Christmas Eve. Everybody opens one present.
everybody opens one
On on Christmas Eve, you get a
Christmas
preview.
Eve,
Mm-hmm.
and then on
And
the
then you
next
go
day
to
you get
bed.
your shit.
Mm-hmm. And then you got your stocking. And then you forgot you had a stocking, and that's also stuffed
Um, do you
with
still do sexy white
socks.
elephant? Not with your family, but with your friends at work.
what, what is this?
What is this? What the hell is this? Jerry, what are you doing?
What
You
is,
showing your pee-pee?
No, I'm just trying to get my my other camera working. It just the battery
Show's
went out,
going
so I had to change the battery.
crazy.
I love it. You guys trying to make the show keep going.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'm so
I like.
distracted.
I
I
was
didn't
like,
know
look at
that
that. Look
Jared
at him
had
go.
left.
Oh yeah, I'm talking
Nice,
about Christmas
nice.
being. We're like being like Regis and Kathy Lee. Very slow opening.
Nobody knows.
For
Nobody knows.
our
Nobody that
Christmas
listens
episode.
that watches this knows who those people are.
Really?
I know, isn't that a shame? I
I
just
always
thought
was
about how Regis was
fascinated by
thrown under the
Regis.
bus so hard. Regis was whipped underneath the bus, like
What do you
discarded so fast.
What
By
do you
Kathy
mean?
Lee?
Oh, you mean just because when they changed the host and all that stuff?
Well, when the new one came in, what's her name?
Uh,
Ripa. Kelly
Kelly
Ripa?
Ripa.
Yeah,
Regis was the
Fart Ripa.
guy. Wasn't he the guy who was the whole Willie B walking off of the Sammy Maudlin show? That was based on a real thing, and I think it was Regis Philbin walked off his show on the air. He's like, "Well, it's been mailed that people haven't enjoyed, haven't liked what I've been doing," and so he just split.
Really?
Why did he
Yeah,
leave?
because he was dragging the ratings down. Because people wrote in and complained, and he was like, "All right, I guess I'm done then," and he just left. Just it was live
Well,
TV,
him
and he
and
just
Cat,
walked off.
he was always a mainstay on that show. It was always someone and Regis. And then when he got old enough, they're like, "Yeah, you got to go, man." And they like pushed him out the door with a box. They just boxed all the shit he had in his office. They kicked him in the back, like right lower back with the boot, and he
He was used
flopped
to
out of
it.
ABC in New York. And
He's used
and
to
the
it.
poor guy died like 2 years later. He was so sad. And then but
And he
meanwhile,
didn't
Kelly
die.
Ripa's got every hot guy that ever lived on the show with her.
He didn't die from
Very
sadness.
interesting.
She had her husband on there, right?
Regis died of
Or that's who does
sadness.
it now, right?
He did not.
Her
He'd been
husband,
moving
yeah.
off 100 shows, Raj. Come on. He had the imprint of a man's boot on his arse He
No.
worked off his own show. He had so many shows.
Yeah, you're
Don't you
talking
remember in
about
the
something that
80s?
happened in the 60s.
In the
I
80s,
mean,
he
by the
was
time,
ripping through shows.
oh, well, this is a debate I don't want to have with you because I don't think it's worth our time, but
That's true.
suffice it to say, Kelly Ripa, Fart Ripa, as I was so wittily constructed
Fart
there.
Ripper. Hey, Kelly, do they still call you Fart Ripper? They never did. They never called
You
you
have to
that. I
fire
thought they called
Regis.
you Fart.
You have to fucking fire Regis for calling me Fart Ripa. Fire that old motherfucker. I'm walking.
Well, you fought it one time. You did. And that's your name now.
Oh my God, one time. One time you fucking fell. 3 times you've fallen. I'm going to call you Falling Regis.
Yeah. I
What am
told
I
my
gonna
son.
do?
I'm going to call you Fat.
I tell my
Give me
son
some
about
coffee,
Doo-Doo.
Fat.
There was Doo-Doo Brown, and when I went to school, he shit on himself when we were like in kindergarten, and he got called Doo-Doo Brown until he was like in high school. And I remember he's walking the street,
Yeah.
and these girls, the cute girls, were like, "Hi, Doo-Doo," and I'm like, Jesus, like even like flirting, even in a good situation, you still get called shit.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
No.
Doo-Doo.
What was his
Too
name?
bad he-
I don't know.
What was his real name?
His
Edward
last
or
name was
something?
Brown. His last name was Brown. I know
Edward
that.
Brown?
Jerry
have
doesn't. No one
do
remembers
not
the
remember.
name. You don't print the fact. You print the legend. Doo-Doo. Too bad he didn't make it to the NBA because he would have caught on and people would have still known it was him.
Most
Doo-Doo. Well,
definitely.
in his funeral, people are like, Doo-Doo, my God, I miss you. We're so broken heart. Everybody's saying, where's Doo-Doo? You know what I mean? We wake up like, let me call Doo-Doo, and we can't call nobody, man. We miss you, Doo-Doo.
But after a while,
Remember when he shit himself? Of course you do. His name's Doo-Doo.
but the
Of course we have to mention that. No, you don't have to mention it.
The Doo-Doo wipes
He did.
off
He shit
after a
himself
while,
badly.
and it's just a sound, like Chi Rodriguez.
So do you see the
Besides,
question, Horatio?
Which also, I
No,
always
I
wonder what
can't
the
see it.
translation of Chi was. You know the golfer Chi Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chihuahua, it
Everybody calls
originates
you
in
ass.
Chihuahua, Mexico.
Can't make
What's the
that.
Are you
question?
allowed? Are you
Just wanted
allowed
to
to
ask you.
do? Are you
Are you?
allowed to do? I wish it was Christmas. So
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm allowed to press a record. I don't know.
do,
I own.
so
I my name is on it as a writer, but I don't own really the rights to it.
you
So when it
can't just
pops up
sing
in a
it.
commercial
What doesn't?
occasionally, and it does.
Well, here's what doesn't make sense is that you sign all this stuff to be not in the union or whatever to have
ASCAP.
the
Yeah.
ASCAP. Yeah. What does that count for? Does that count for anything? You just get credit for the song, but you don't get royalties.
I think you probably get residuals
you do
to a
get
certain
royalties, yeah.
extent.
Right.
But minimal.
Right.
Like not even enough to be like, whoa, that's great. But also,
Yes.
I wrote a lot of songs that are in the show, and I own a lot of those too. But it's like there was some Fuji business going on. People were writing their names on songs, and
Yeah.
who submitted them, you never really knew. It wasn't you doing it yourself. So you didn't know who
Right.
was listed as head writer. So that's kind of what happened. So when this, like, I asked my agents, like, hey, what's the deal? Like, I've heard this on shows and stuff. And then that's what we figured out.
Well, me
But
and
I think I'll do. I mean, I do it. I don't have a problem doing it.
well, they were the ones that told me because they were, it's like, hey, you got to get an ASCAP if you're going to write these songs and all this stuff, and they don't do that on every show. Like a lot of writers write songs and they have no rights to those songs when they get done. The person that wrote the music and did all that stuff gets the rights to it. So they were the ones that told us, hey, you guys going to join ASCAP, you got to do this. So when I did that song with Craig Robinson, we were ASCAP, and I still get every once in a while, like some royalty checks from somebody's fucking my lady,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
That's a good one.
and they go automatically somewhere, right? I don't really see those.
They do. Yep. Yeah. Anytime some music played, some goes somewhere. Yeah.
Rod, you still got that little cigarette guitar? Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
I don't own the that kind of guitar because it was Jimmy's backpacker, and
Oh, was that Jimby's guitar?
it was great.
I thought that was yours.
That was Jimmy's office guitar.
Oh, little
And so I
one.
noodled with it because I play a little.
It did have a toy
And
sound to it. It sounded like a toy.
and the whole thing led perfectly. The whole thing led perfectly into my aesthetic, which is imperfection of every kind. Um, so so the song is never performed right. It's on toys that look like let's just pick up these toys and see what happens. And now, of course, Jimmy does that like big time, right? Now he does it like with Robert Plant. And they do like they'll do fucking rock and roll, and they'll use toy instruments and shit. And it's like awesome, but that's kind of the feel of it. It's just
Okay,
putting
yeah.
it together, kind of the gang putting it together. Putting on a show. The whole Little Rascals, that kind of thing.
That's how it happened. That felt like that was the way Lauren treated it too. Oh, you guys came up with something. You guys were treated like that. Like, we want to show you what this thing that we did. We came up
Like
with
a talent show. Like, hey, Dad, look
Yeah.
what
You
I
should
came
do it
up
then.
with. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
used to
should
do
put
that
it
to
in
my
the show
parents.
go ahead.
then.
You go right ahead.
I used to glue spirit gum cotton balls on my face and then do bits for my parents. So yeah, basically you're doing the same thing now. 10 years later, 15 years later. Yeah, that was like when I first started talking to Lauren about scenes. I kind of never talked to Lauren. But after this one, he took a shine to it. So I was like, what should we? And so it was our idea to make us look like it was a Christmas special from the 60s and 70s. So each outfit,
we mean with the sweaters and stuff.
yeah, with the sweaters, and then like
And the snow
Scrooge.
globe.
We did
It
Scrooge.
was kind of a concept, like that's what they would do in those old variety shows. They'd have all these concepts.
That was
Yeah, just a constant
yeah, that was our nod. That was our nod to.
So the whole Carpenter special would take place inside a snow globe.
Yeah,
So you're saying that was Lauren that was him throwing that in there, that him saying like hey,
Like, make
you
it-
guys should put the sweaters, you should make it look like this, or this is the setting.
yeah, he was totally on board with that, and he knew exactly what I was talking about, and then he's made some suggestions, and yeah, I think every time we did it, we would go, we'd ask him like, "What do you think?" And he would add some little touches, but it was great because it was actually a very easy, collaborative conversation. I've never had anything other than that, really. I never had a real conversation with Lauren where he would get mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I never had a conversation where he was like, "Get in my office." The fuck, man.
But you
He
did get
protected us in that way.
Well, he would have.
Oh, yeah, I
he would
get in
have
trouble.
He would have somebody else do that anyway.
the bag man.
Yeah, I got yelled at right before the meeting, right before the show.
Yeah,
That was the one time I got
Right
yelled
before
at.
a show.
me too. Me too.
Oh.
Yeah, me too. I got yelled at
because-
right. The first show I ever did, I got yelled at right before the show.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh no.
I was like, what the fuck? I got yelled at for leaving. I left the meeting and then came back. He's like, where the fuck were you? I'm like, I had to go give the notes to the cue card guy. Don't fucking leave. Like, and this is somebody else told me to leave. They were like, go, leave now. And I looked at him and he was just
yeah.
like,
Oh,
you gotta
When
like
you
speak
when you
up.
get in trouble.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Speak up.
And I
Speak up
got-
and be like, hey, I told him to do that.
I got in trouble for. Yeah, I mean, did he speak up?
No.
What happened with right? Exactly. What happened to me was I didn't come on make my entrance for about something, and I was asking like, when do I go on? And he's kind of like, and then the stage manager's like, wait, and so in between that time he missed something, and I was like, all right. So it was his fault or someone's fault for not cueing him. So but I went in there and I got yelled at And I was like, yeah, yeah. And he was like, you could drive a fucking truck through that hole that you left in, something like that. Uh, or in the space, you could drive a truck through the space you left. And
Dr.
you think
Evil.
by the way, you think I'd have a better Lord.
No, it's so
And
Dr.
then of
Evil.
course, and then it was the stage manager, the sweet, sweet stage manager, Bobby Van Rye. I could blame him now that he's passed. He was a guy who had done 50 years of shows on NBC. Hullabaloo, I mean, you name it. He'd been there since the fucking beginning of television.
And
So
he
I
was
was like,
late
I'm
on the
not going to
tap?
blame him. Yeah, he was late on the tap. And then later he was like, I really appreciate that you did that, man. That was like a solid move. And I was like, no worries. I thought I got some credit for that.
I got
And it's
I
kind
got
of
in
good when you
trouble too.
when you get yelled at for something that wasn't your fault. It's kind of funny. It's just like, because you can't. You can't.
One time
I mean,
on the other
it's not my
guys,
character to be like, he did it, like in the middle of a meeting, like half hour before the show starts.
one time on the other guys, I gave Riggle the complete wrong cue. And he does the cue. He did it wrong. Everyone else waited, and Riggle did it, and they had to cut and go back. And Wriggle's like, but. And I was going to speak up and say, oh, that's my fault. But I thought that's going to be even a bigger waste of time. So I just let it ride. Just let Riggle just take the hit.
I forgot who tells this. A famous story that somebody tells of what's his name? Easy Reader.
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. Yeah, he's
Morgan
in the movie
Freeman.
with him, and he showed up. He showed up late or something. He got the wrong call time, and so Morgan Freeman is in the movie with him. He's waiting for him. And so the guy shows up, and Morgan Freeman starts laying into him about, hey, you're a professional. You got to show up on time and be here on time. You get the call time, you notice the time, and you get there on time. Be a professional actor. And the dude was just like, you know what? Like, it wasn't his fault, but he wasn't. He's like, it's Morgan Freeman. I just let him, like, read me the riot act or whatever. I just let him tell me that because it's Morgan Freeman. I mean, what am I going to say, I wasn't going to say it's their fault.
Right.
I just let him do it. And I'd be like, I wouldn't have been able to do that. I'd have been able, hey, man, hey, fucking old man, you fucking wait, stop. Stop for one fucking moment. It's not my fault. I would not have been able to just do that. It was, you know what? Just take it. Like, no.
Yeah,
no.
Big
fan.
Because that's a big deal, and that's a big deal in show business, being late and fucking up someone else's time. That's a really big deal.
It is.
And so, if Morgan Freeman thinks you're a fuck up and can't get it right,
right,
it's bad for your career.
Well, how are we going to do the rest of the scene? We're going to work the rest of the day with each other, You think I'm an idiot? I don't want you to think I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I think I want to get that right first. That's what I want to get that straight. Then after that, we get something wrong, then I can be like, yes, I let it go. But we're on the baseline now that you know that I'm like, I wasn't late. Just to be late.
You got to take it and let that truth come out later. You got to trust that it's going to come around somehow, And if not, you just got to eat it.
Yeah.
That's my
probably right. It's probably true. He's probably right. I'm like, next best thing to do is just like let him go ahead and blow off his steam. If I stopped him from doing that, how was that going to make it any better? The dude already thinks I'm a fuck up, but But I myself, and my personality, I don't think I'd have been able to sit there and have him like yell at me.
I think this is Brad Pitt too. This is Brad Pitt in Seven you're talking about.
Yes, it was something like that. Yeah, Brad Pitt. Yeah, it was like it was somebody who could have been like, "Hey, I'm fucking Brad Pitt."
Listen, you beautiful motherfucker. You beautiful motherfucker. You better show up on time, Blue Eyes.
Or Tom Cruise going off on his crew.
Right?
Tom Cruise is Mr. Showbiz. He is.
Didn't want to wear masks.
There is no position I can compare to what he's just the heart of showbiz, and it's crooked and it's weird and it's. But it's the heart of showbiz. I think
they work incredibly hard, like
working COVID. He's jumping off mountains. You
Yeah, if
know,
there's a
he's got to be
plague,
like
he's like, yeah,
62
I'm
years
making
old.
movies anyway. You think for a second I'm not going to make a movie during a plague, which means you got to all wear your masks.
And he said that too. He's like, all of Hollywood is watching what we're doing right now. All of it.
Oh, hey,
What
Dorf's
we do
coming in. I
here.
was hoping he would come by. Well, look
He's
who
he's in the
dropped
he's
in,
in the green room,
Daddy.
but I can't see him yet. I thought it was gonna be a surprise for you guys, but
Well,
Who?
he twigged it. He
Dorf.
twigged it when he texted the group.
Yeah.
Um,
So this song "Young Folks" by Peter Bjorn, it sounds like your song? Do you ever
Mhm.
know? Did you know that?
I've heard that. Yeah,
You've heard it.
I've heard that
Um,
a few times. Yeah. Are you playing it?
no, I don't think
yeah,
I
Oh,
we'll get
can.
sued.
uh,
I can find it.
it's similar. It's similar. I don't know, but you know, I'm sure that I don't know. I think that pattern has probably been done before a few 100,000 times in the history of music.
Is
So
it the
you know,
is it the ding 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 ding? Is that the
yeah. It's tell
similar?
me what they think. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
And mine is ding 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 ding.
Okay.
Your Honor. So
Your
you know,
Honor.
and then you know, uh, musicians will be like, yeah, that's not. I mean, that's a thing everyone knows. Everyone plays that. It's like, okay, all right. Like when I
Yeah.
asked Chad
No, it
about
could be
like how
one.
could they make songs sound like that, he goes, each kind of those like chord progressions have been done like hundreds of times, and then so you're like, oh yeah, that's why when you're in a car and you're like, this sounds like it. It's not
Have
that part of it is not stealing.
Have you ever
Then
heard
how come?
Vanilla Ice's defense of pressure?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what was that?
It's
He added
one
one
note.
note.
It's like his is
Yeah.
doom 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 doom.
Yeah,
And he's like, I took out that note, so it's different.
Cut to being hung from the window of a fucking hotel. Like, give me the rights to that shit, motherfucker.
The idea of an
Now he's
80s
back.
Billy Joel cover band was brilliant, Horatio. Was that your idea? Just wondering. Billy Joel
Not
cover
at all.
band?
No, that was in the script. That was a beautiful gift from McKay.
80s. Oh, it has
I
to be
you know,
80s.
It's
it was
just
only
yes,
80s
just
Joel.
Billy 80s Billy Joel, yeah.
That's the game. Because
And,
that one nugget, he knew that you guys could chew on that bone for some good screen time, which you did.
and it's just McKay like slamming Billy Joel. It's just like all
Well,
your
yeah.
catalog in the last 10 years blows. Kind of got good shit in the 70s, but you know, so it is kind of it's a perfect like weird slam that many people would not agree with.
Somebody's got to
Dude.
get hurt, as Tom Davis
Yes,
said.
someone's got to get hurt.
That's
So
right.
it shouldn't take this long for Dorf to come in.
He's trying. He keeps trying. I think it's his internet.
Oh, okay.
He may, yeah.
That was it. That was the highlight of the Catalina wine mixer or whatever it was. Whatever that thing was.
And then I've been asked a few times to attend in the past.
To attend what?
They have a real Catalina wine mixer, which
Oh,
I think
really?
is it's like a fan kind of thing where they play. I think they have golf and they play. You know, they have.
Wow.
Hey,
But that like you got to pay me. Hey,
old Saint Nick. It's him. He made it.
So, a question, Horatio. One more. When Julian Casablancas did it, did he get permission? Did you talk to him about that, or did he just do it on his own?
he did ask me. He told me that he planned on doing it, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I said, sure, whatever, you know. He asked me who wrote the song, and I like, well, I wrote the song mostly, but then Jimmy wrote some of it. So, and then of course, you know, I went to his concert. He invited me and Jen, and he played the song live, and that was kind of pretty amazing in New York.
Does the writing kind of go to the admiral on duty, like Zonars or whoever it is?
Let's not talk legalese. I mean,
Yeah. That sometimes depends on the culture of the show a little bit.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
So
a lot of moving pieces.
You might be on a show with a musical director who insists on taking credit
for
every
song.
bit of
That's right.
music that happens.
Yep.
You could be. I'm just saying
You
it's
could be.
theoretically possible.
You're right. Possibly.
So, like, even if the guitar player, say, like, wrote a thing or the bass player came up with a bass line that was like the perfect porn bass line that got used 100 times.
Well, here's an example
Yeah.
of this fuckery. We were doing I was doing Jim Morrison somehow in something, and I needed the riff from a song, and I needed the riff to sound exactly like the song AC/DC, and it kept coming back, and it was in a different key, and I'm like, I'm trying to sing to this, but you know, you're changing. So like, just play what, you know, Angus Young or whomever is playing. That I can sing to. And I think what was happening was they were changing it a little bit to
Make it original.
to write it, to submit it as partly theirs. And then it works as like a soundtrack. It's like, oh, I'm doing the soundtrack to the scene. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know, meanwhile, you know, I don't want the residuals. So I'm like, let's get the right sound. I don't need to have a new song.
Yes, all you want to do
Exactly.
is like, just sing the song.
Exactly. There's a way to finesse it. Again, it's a show culture thing, but if you're on a show and they're like, we don't want to do it that way, then say, on the broadcast, let's just have a needle drop of it. And then for reuse, we'll use the version that you guys cooked up.
I hate that.
You'll actually probably do fine on reuse, but for this broadcast, we're just going to have that. So if it's a reasonable if it's a reasonable environment, that should work.
Yeah, it's nice if somebody figured that out. You can just do that. It seems like in the environment that you were in, Kevin, it's like, oh yeah, somebody was reasonable with that.
Yeah, there was I was on a show produced by Lauren.
It was a more manageable group.
Right, but it wasn't the snake pit that you guys worked in, so it was more collegial. But you know, it wasn't like anybody didn't want to make a buck. It was just more reasonable. That's all.
And when you signed for, I don't know what it was like for you, Kev, but you know, I don't really. A lot of what I wrote is part of the deal. Like music is there. So your understanding is you don't own the music, you own part of it. You own the pump, whatever. But they own the most of it. And that's what you sign away your rights when you sign up for SNL. Unless you have like a book of songs that you can show them.
Right. Yeah.
So if these songs get into the show, or if these characters get into the show, I own those rights.
But
then you used to try to do
approval
that.
is your cross to bear. Then you'll have to bear the cross of getting them approved.
Yeah.
So think about what makes a toy. What's seen the I don't even know now, but let's say like bees, like the bees, or they're selling toys of Mr. Bill, which I have over here. You know, so who owns Mr. Bill and all those toys? You know, Tom Davis wrote it, so I'm sure it owns a little bit, but most of it's for SNL, and that's kind of you sign away those rights because it makes sense.
Right.
Can't have loose ends on a big network show that's going to be resold and reshown.
That's why we started Apple Records, so someone wouldn't have to go down on the knees in someone's office. Probably yours.
That's an exact quote. I love it. You watched an anthology, I'm sure, recently?
Oh, I don't need to watch the anthology. That went straight into my brain core the first
It's all
time.
hardwired into his head.
Yeah, that is it.
Yeah, there's a new anthology where they add new little bits and little shits and bits, but it's basically what you know.
Between the four of us, there's like hardly any part of that story we haven't completely dedicated to our brain. You know, like whatever the various
I
Beatles
don't know.
themes.
I don't think Jerry, you weren't a Beatles weirdo, were you?
I mean, but I know that, yeah, but
Yeah, but he
I know the history.
qualifies.
Yeah, this is like, how
Yeah,
can you
he
not
qualifies. Yeah.
know
Yeah, when you're in that era, it was so
that
it
musical
permeated.
history?
I heard a good one yesterday. I hadn't heard before of John Lennon. He's on stage with Yoko and playing with somebody for some benefit. He's like, flower power didn't work. We'll just try something else.
He knew.
Yeah, he was always a little bit ahead of it.
Well, he had seen the business end of flower power, people showing up at his house. So for everybody else, it was like, oh, that was a funny episode of Batman when the flower children showed up. For him, it was like, no, they're at my fucking house.
Yeah.
Well, then George Harrison goes to Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco, and he's like, they're all just drug addicts, and there's a lot of unseediness. Talk about Manson. That was Manson shit too. Like they're all just dirtbags.
George says, I went down. Everyone said go to Haight-Ashbury, and we went down, and it was just bums. It was all just bums.
And he was from Liverpool, which is like the most fucked up city in the United Kingdom in the '60s. And he's like, this place sucks. What a rat hole.
Yeah, no, not impressed.
Yeah, and they were all like with it. They're all like they're all kind of liberal dudes.
By Germans, and he was like, "This place is a mess."
Yeah, they're playing the remnants of. There are probably still bricks laying around, like from Berlin when they were playing there. Yeah, they're probably like burnt out buildings a couple blocks away.
I don't know which ones, but arguably some Beatles grew up with, toilets in the back of the house and stuff, like outside. I don't know.
Now we're talking. Now this is what I like to talk about. Where the Beatles first took shits.
Where the Beatles. I mean, I don't know if it was in where they lived, but it was in the environment that they grew up in. Yeah, outdoor toilets are normal. It's the '60s, and they still have them.
We'd use a wooden bucket, and I'll do it, and then we bury it in the bucket.
We started after so we could take a shit indoors.
I remember my uncle still had an outhouse at his house. I mean, he lived way out in the country in Tennessee, but I remember going to his house and having to go outside and not being able to see.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Yeah,
I heard that someone just said that 40% of Russia has no plumbing like that. Running water and plumbing. Yeah. That's fucking amazing. That's insanely bad.
Grew up with an outhouse. For a while,
Gemberling's
dad
had a
house with an outhouse. Yeah, Gemberchuck.
Oh yeah. Well, if you grow up with it, you're like a little monkey crawling over a toilet. You get trained with shit on a wooden toilet outside. Yeah, you're gonna be fine with it.
I think some people preferred it. It was like, the idea of having the shit house inside your house was just weird to people. At first. But
yeah,
you didn't have to be cold.
Away.
It's unhygienic, and besides, when you put the toilet outside and you don't heat it, no one hogs the bathroom.
That's true.
That was my favorite. I finally watched that Bob Dylan biopic, Unknown. Anyway, my favorite part of it. I didn't love the movie at all, but my favorite part was that was Jim Norton playing. What's his name? Did you guys see that movie? Yeah, he's perfect. He does a perfect Pete Seeger.
Who's Jim Norton?
Pete Seeger's in his cabin. He's like, there's the bathroom.
Pete Seeger lived in a very rustic. Long after he became a recording artist, he lived in an extremely rustic setting in upstate New York.
And he shows
chop
him the
wood
privy.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
privy.
Carried his own water.
Yeah, water,
And
getting water from the river and stuff.
he shows Bob Dylan the bathroom, and he says, it's very sanitary and doesn't smell. It's one of the new ones. And the kids are like, oh, all his kids object. He goes, traitors all. Traitors all. That was the best thing about that movie, was watching, it was like a sketch, watching Norton do that Pete Seeger impression.
I've never seen that.
I didn't see the movie. Was it good?
Yeah.
Decent.
Somehow they rendered Bob Dylan this really boring character in this fucking dull city called New York in Greenwich Village. And there's barely anything going on. And then he goes and does Newport and the movie's over.
No, that checks out. Yeah, that checks out.
That's pretty
New York
much it.
New York was dead in the water when he showed up. And then he did Newport, and that was the end of the story.
There's nothing to do in New York City. You play once in a while at a hootenanny, and then you go and visit Woody. And then you go visit Woody in his wheelchair and fucking play harmonica for him. That's all that happened.
Where did Woody
Dylan
Guthrie
has a perfect like documentary.
Bellevue.
In Crazy House. Right?
Hospital. He couldn't move. He was basically, immobile. He was not ambulatory.
Woody Guthrie.
Woody Guthrie.
I'm sorry, who?
Yeah.
Oh, Woody Guthrie.
Woody Guthrie, king of folk music, American folk music, modern American folk music. Well, he's the father of Woody's children anyway. I guess Dorf maybe doesn't agree with me that Woody's the grandfather of modern American folk music.
Oh yeah, I don't have a dog in the folk fight.
It all comes from.
Oh, I thought he grumbled. I thought I heard a grumble.
No. I guess I was just sort of
dad,
reacting to. I was sort of reacting to Woody living in Bellevue, and that must have been hard.
Yes, without a doubt.
And then I was.
Well,
he had a horrible disease.
Like heated bathrooms. He had heated bathrooms, right?
I was trying to think of a joke, like guy in a bed in a hospital saying, "This pan is my pan.
Yeah.
This pan is your pan."
Yeah, I was trying to think of a thing of like having that harmonica contraption that you can play without using your hands.
Nurse, come in and change my harmonica. I need a D.
Notice how much space and privacy he had. Do you think that his ward in Bellevue in New York at that time was really that spacious and that clean? Because I don't think so.
Yeah, I honestly don't think hospitals are very well done in movies. They're rarely is. It's hard to convey how shit they are in a movie, and it distracts everybody from whatever the scene is. So they're just like, let's just make it a normal hospital. Let's not make it a goddamn zoo. It's like 90% of hospitals are a nightmare. So, for some reason in movies they're always fine.
The Elephant Man had very cool digs, His were like from An American in Paris or something,
Well, Elephant Man, yeah, there's a lot of art design in that movie.
Yeah, that's like the Friends of Victorian England, the Elephant Man. That's like a Friends episode. Like this, he doesn't live in central London.
His cage
doesn't live there.
His cage was
lived in a
ornate.
fucking chicken coop.
He had an ornate cage, of course.
Ornate cage.
Oh,
like he had wasn't he rolling like in a rolling cage with like horse and carriage?
It was like this beautiful cage. Like
lived in the tarp. Delaney likes to whitewash the treatment of Merrick by saying he had a nice, cozy life, and I'm like, no. Merrick was treated badly.
It was like his Munster mobile. It was how he got around. It was stylish.
But he had to be drawn by the fat lady.
Remember when you were little, you'd go to the auto show and they'd have the Batmobile. and then they'd have the Elephant Man cage next to it. And I was just like, Batmobile's cool, but this is much better.
Yeah.
This is like this is a cage, a rolling cage.
It's got
The
a
Matchbook
Bible in
one?
there.
For Matchbox? Matchbox was generic to Hot Wheels. Like Matchbox, I've jumped really fast, but Matchbox always had super dumb space cars, and Hot Wheels had specific models that were cast to look perfectly like it. But Matchbox was like for the amateur
stupid cars.
car toy player.
I've been thinking a lot about that because those were like when I was a kid. Those were toys I considered dumb toys. I'm like, oh, there's fucking toys for idiots.
Yeah, Hot Wheels.
I was one of the idiots. I was digging holes. I was making parking lots with rocks out in my terrible backyard. I'm making parking spots for let's go down here. And then when you get the track, you blow out those plastic tracks. Those are fascinating for 2 days, and you're like, all right, I guess enough of that.
All I remember
so then you buy the toy where you can wash the car.
Kids getting beat with those tracks.
Yeah,
those plastic tracks.
Nicky
that's why they stopped making
them. Nicky Katzenboulos' mom always beat the children with those Hot Wheel tracks. She called them pink things. Where is it? Bring me the pink thing.
That became our generation's equivalent of a birch switch.
Yes,
a Hot Wheel track.
Hot Wheel track.
Yeah,
I thought about that.
Yeah.
Why did they make it like this? Because it was the perfect beating weapon.
I would get beat with the electric race tracks that came out later, like the Hogan traps, and it was like, this doesn't hurt. It just break a whole.
No one beats a kid.
A whole ream of electrically connected race cars smashing on top of me. Like, get out of here.
Generation X, folks, talking about the way we got beat.
Generation X.
I know. It's my fault. I think I brought up the Beatles. That always cues a lot of childhood recovered memories. I show up. It's like me going to a therapist.
To the Beatles.
Yeah, it's like your parents beating you with a Beatles record.
There's nothing more scary, boring, terrible than asking us, what are you doing now? It's like,
oh yeah.
No, let's talk about the 90s. Let's talk about the 80s. Now? No, I don't want to talk about now.
Yeah.
Well, it's a kind of a boring.
But I remember I just had a feeling yesterday about like my most special Christmas, and I saw a pair of glasses, and they had these two colors, and I remember this race car had that color on it, and I remember looking at it and wanting it for Christmas and kind of dreaming about it. So I thought that's how this fat weirdo on the court TV, he had this neon colored glasses, and he had the color of the car, and I was like, oh, and I was driven back to it. That's all. Thank you. That's my Christmas memories. 2025.
Thank you.
Well, my son wants a lightsaber, and I remember they didn't exist. Like they would have killed for a lightsaber, and it was like a few movies I think before they started really making lightsabers that really worked.
Yeah. It was many years later because for a long time all you can get was like that plastic fucking retractable cup.
That's right.
It was phony, even with a light. And then it had a light on it. Inside it had a flashlight, and you're like, oh, this is amazing. If you're playing like in the dark closet with your best friend, I guess it kind of looks great.
But on the lawn.
But now, now there's one that's just always a big, like almost a hardened plastic one with inside there's a tube, and they light up really good, and they go.
Yeah.
Did you get one of those?
No.
Nunez has one. Nunez has one.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
The oldest child I know. Right.
Yeah,
so you have it, and then it goes like the light starts on in a but it's a plastic thing. It's not like I'm waiting for when they could make light stop.
I
Just
know, right?
shine
This one
light
is
Oh,
and
actually
well,
like
stop it.
light.
Einstein tried
Yeah.
to do. Even Albert Einstein couldn't do that. He tried. He was like, "No, this stuff's too fast." Making light
Maybe it's
stop.
something I should work
Yeah,
on.
you'd win a Nobel Prize if you can.
This
I'll
person's
start
still
working
working
on
on
it.
hoverboard.
know.
Hoverboards.
It's great because like Lunar Spunk is really funny. You know, he's just doing John Lennon a minute ago, and you know, he's got blisters on his spanking end. You know, and it's like I think we're on a like third generation. So like, just so this starts with us, and then kids that we would have had, two of us, and then two of us did, and then their kids. So we're in like our third generation of kids that want to go to sleep in a Darth Vader helmet. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's a lot of it's like 50 fucking years almost of this.
That's
And
crazy
you
that
could
George
slowing,
Lucas could
it's
do
not
that.
slowing down. Yeah, like it's really not slowing down.
And my
No,
son
it
still could
wormed
have the
into the
question of,
culture.
wait a minute, is that his sister? Why, then why would he write it that way? And I'm like, yeah, I know, we've been thinking that way for years. Why would he do
Yeah, I
that?
don't
Like,
think
if
it's
he
a
knew that was going to
50-year
be a
mark.
sister, why would he do that? Like, I don't know.
I don't even
You
think
know-
Christianity was this big at the 50-year mark. You know, like it was not as big. I mean, Star Wars is
when we
bigger
did
than
Mandalorian,
God.
the co-creator of Mandalorian was Dave Filoni, and he was like he was the oracle of all things Star Wars. He had done the series of animated series that was like really loved, but then he's co-creating this with Favreau, and he really did like know everything. You know, he was like, Favreau's like, if you need to know anything about anything Star Wars, he'll know it. So that he was kind of like, he had taken in all the junk and figured it out and kind of like manipulate, you know, so he does have there is a timeline and there are logical answers for all this. But of course,
Sure.
Yeah, but
it's fantasy science fiction, but
my son's question is like, why would he write it where you question, like, if Luke and Princess Leia were like, maybe they could be boyfriend and girlfriend. My son's like, why would you even question that when you know that, when the writer knows that it's their brother and sister? He's like, why would he? I'm like, because he wanted you to like maybe not know that. He's like, yeah, but
Right, it was a reveal.
it's a reveal.
he didn't.
I'm like,
But
yeah,
I don't understand the question.
no, I think supposedly George Lucas always knew that they were brother and sister.
Sure. It was just.
But my
Yeah, I
son
mean,
is
it's a
like, well,
good-
why would he write? Why would he write it
Just
where
to
they
throw us for
they
a
might
loop.
be like boyfriend and girlfriend? Like, why would he do
just
that?
to throw us for
Because
a little loop,
that-
have a little
that's
laugh
how-
on us. But then
yeah.
your son is like, wait a minute, don't lead us
I
down
was like-
the path of incest here.
Yeah, my friend's like, that's weird. I'm like, yeah, we all think that, yeah.
But you know, that's how movies.
But yeah, but then you go, I would say, but then you notice that somehow the Force kept it from really happening. You know, they had a very innocent kiss.
The Force don't
And
let
the
shit
Force was
happen like
like,
that.
no, don't worry.
Yeah, no,
I guess
Force
there's a lot
has
of
way
that.
of shutting these things down,
right.
The Force
Yeah.
don't-
right?
The Force don't let no weird shit happen. That's for sure.
No, they're
At
freaky
least the
like
bright
that.
side, you know, Darth Vader, they let a lot of shit happen, but no, not with the positive Force.
Once
Yeah,
that whole
we
Jedi Council
understand
came
there's-
around, it got scary. I thought the Council was scary.
The what was?
Sorry. The Jedi. In the world of Star Wars, I thought
Oh, okay.
once they leaned into their Jedi Council, it got very scary
Well,
and
it was
judgy.
I was scared by its inefficiency.
Definitely.
I was like, you don't have any enforcement brief. Like you have no ambit. Like you have all these laws, but who's going
I
to
know,
enforce them?
who's gonna enforce them?
A mercenary and a broken down, you know, like junk
Yeah.
plane. Like what the fuck? Like where's the cops? Like, have you thought about that? Probably low tax environment is my guess. Like,
Well,
they couldn't tax the whole.
You forget the
galaxy,
idea
so-
is that they're not the government. They're rebels.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So, you know, there's no law.
Yeah, it's a movement.
Yeah, it's a movement. It's not.
And also, you know, you have to explain if you're asking about the writer sometimes doesn't know where the story's going. The story drives him. And that's how we get to part 2 and 3. You know, the writer needs to set these things up for us, and that's part of our enjoyment of it.
So
I mean,
Right.
did you
is that?
describe the
I'm still
tail
talking
wagging the
about what the.
dog?
I think it's just it's really fascinating that you don't want to spoil anything to a child, but you also have to explain the mechanisms of it. You know, that's
Right.
part of what
You have to go like, well,
growing up
that's
and
you're setting it up. So
yeah.
Well, you guys are parents, you two. Like, how did the Santa Claus conversation go when you finally had it?
I haven't had any Santa Claus conversation.
He hadn't had it.
He's
You haven't
He's
done
coming in
the
a couple
reveal
weeks.
yet? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I
Okay,
just reported to him.
Kevin. Kevin,
did it
we
go
didn't
with
have
my
the
life?
hard reveal until, drum roll please,
He's
12
21.
years old.
Oh,
12.
okay. 12. That's
12.
you
The
guys
Now-
both
response was this. I knew it.
My
Well,
son is
this
very
time
much
where I knew it.
he's very much like a play along kind of dude of like, because yesterday
Yeah.
he goes, I know you're doing the elf. And we're like, no, I'm not doing the elf. He's like, I know you are, but okay, let's go along with it. Like,
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
yeah.
I was living in Fantasyland for like I knew Christmas because my brothers were just of course I'm not going to believe in anything. So I pretty much knew everything was fucking bullshit. So I had to make it up and be like, yeah, I'd watch TV and watch the specials, and I'm like, Christmas is fucking beautiful, and I have to live this. I have to pretend that there's a Santa, and then you're like, well, it's kind of fun to just have a Santa gift underneath the TV tree for everybody. Like it was just more like.
Well,
Let's play with the tradition. That's it,
well, you and Kevin had older siblings, right? So
Yes.
you both got spoiled by the older siblings with the Santa Claus.
Yeah, we talked
no,
it
I
out.
wasn't.
We all
spoiled.
hashed it out.
Oh, really,
You
Kevin?
just you find out. I mean, I don't know, Kevin. You found out pretty early because teenagers are going to be like, "Come, don't listen to that stupid shit," or don't,
No.
I mean, so
your brothers were like prison guards. They're not like my older siblings at all.
one was.
Okay, one.
Although they both took me to The Exorcist when I was 4 years old. So go ahead.
They're like, this is fucking real. That Santa Claus is bullshit. The devil is a different story.
That's right. That's exactly.
They were like, yeah, like I dispute your dispute that you had only one crazy brother. Your brothers were nightmares. They told you, they treated you like an inmate. They told you everything right away, even when you were too young to know it. Then they took you to The Exorcist. My siblings were lovely.
Well, your siblings
No, it's
are
traumatic. That's why I'm speaking about it. I forgive, of course,
Kevin.
but it
Your siblings
destroyed
are-
my mind.
Your siblings are
It
older.
destroyed my mind.
Maybe they were more responsible because you were farther apart.
Yeah, they were older than me, and my next oldest sibling was 5 years older than me.
Yeah, they were
from there.
they were like 6 and 8 years older than me.
Right, and I had like two younger brothers, so we were just like a sort of a group, a cadre of younger kids. So messing with one of them was like pointless. If you're gonna mess with them, mess with all three. So.
Well, so when you would would you coddle the belief in Santa, or were you like, get away from me?
I don't remember.
No, okay,
I
yeah.
really don't remember. No.
Wonder how Lunar Spunk felt with finding out there's no Santa.
It's just in a funny way.
I
was another long-haired guy
think
that
it's
lived
just
in
a
the desert and
gradual
loved all his brothers and
discovery
sisters.
that anybody makes for themselves unless someone decides to come out and really hard spoil it. But there's always disbelievers. Disbelievers are kind of baked into the whole Santa culture. So that's kind of in there already.
I
I
agree.
think it depends how much of an actual believer you are. I think it depends how spiritual you are and how willing you are to believe. My son's very willing to believe. He's always willing to believe any myth that we laid on him. And some people are a little bit
Delaney.
skeptical. Yo.
Yeah,
No offense, but I want to hear.
Right.
I want to hear Kevin pack his cigarettes. I want the audio to be better on Kevin packing the cigarettes.
We're having an ASMR moment.
Too funny.
Yes.
Well, Jerry, how did your review?
I'm gonna take a video break, but I will be here for audio.
Was many people may not know. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, so I didn't celebrate Christmas. And probably by the age of like 5 or 6, I stopped celebrating Christmas. So yeah, so Santa Claus was like, I definitely did not believe in him. And
No,
yeah,
it's idolatry. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
One
he was
Jehovah's Witness
Never
in my
did.
he was wicked.
When you were
one
little,
Jehovah's
Jerry.
Witness in my third grade class would not do the Pledge of Allegiance, so he
Yeah, I
just
couldn't
sat
do
it
the
out.
Pledge of Allegiance. That sucked. Got to go out in the hallway.
Yeah.
People were like,
The
why aren't you
thing is,
patriotic, dude?
Yeah, they didn't make them go out in the hallway. They weren't weird. You know, they were just like,
Oh,
just
that's
hang
nice.
out, don't worry about it. But you know, we were just, oh yeah, he's a different religious belief, and it wasn't too controversial for us. We're in third grade. If that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. But
Yeah, depending on what
obviously,
kind of teacher you got. Sometimes you might get a
right.
teacher who was like, I was in World War II. You're not doing the fucking Pledge of Allegiance. You know we tarred and feathered you people back in the 40s.
Hey, how about the pledge of my foot in your ass, kid?
Right. Now they fought. They went to the Supreme Court for the right to not do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It didn't seem too controversial to us in public school. I mean, where I was, it was just like, okay, he's not doing it. He's out.
yeah, most of the time it wasn't. I mean, for me as going through that, I always felt like, not doing whatever, not, birthday, having to not eat the birthday cake, all that shit, not making whatever Christmas things. I wanted to do all that shit personally, so I hated
I'm
it.
just remembering it now, but the guy, the young child, his name was Steve, who was a Jehovah's Witness. He didn't do the Pledge of Allegiance, but he definitely believed that one of the houses in our neighborhood was haunted, and he had me convinced.
Yeah,
And so,
and demons in there.
still cool.
Mhm.
I mean, stand in the hall.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's what I'm saying too.
Stand in the hall
Okay.
while we sang to him. Oh,
This is the
That's
art of
weird.
compromise that we've lost. Everybody stand up and sing, and the Jehovah's Witness kid go in the hallway. This is a workaround. This is how we do it. Okay, try pulling that off now.
Well, Kevin, weren't you the one I tell people this when you had this is high school, which is different, but you'd have a gym teacher go like, all right, kids, blacks against whites, line up.
I don't mind saying his name at all. Mr. Kirk. Mr. Kirk. He was awesome. So so sometimes when the weather sucked,
goodness.
which was often in Chicago, we had to use the quote upstairs gym, which wasn't very big, but it was big enough for floor hockey. So it would be a sudden announcement when we get to class, and it was like Mr. Kirk would go, all right, it sucks outside, so we're doing upstairs gym. We're doing whites versus blacks floor hockey. And it was so, and you absolutely remembered it right, Jerry. We got so fired up that the stoners who never would dress for gym, so like the white stoners who were into heavy metal and didn't dress for gym as a rule, would suddenly start scrambling for a gym suit. And it was a total scramble. Everybody wanted to dress for gym
It's a
now.
race riot. It was an organized race riot.
Just organized race animus, just codified into a floor hockey game, which I might add were very spirited.
And fights never break
hockey
out
games.
in hockey.
I know.
Well, we didn't. That was the kind of thing. This was the one time when it's odd to say this, but like this is the one time when the tension in my school flowed like a river, like a beautiful river. Like we just played a hard game of floor hockey. No one punched anyone out.
It's all
That
good.
was every other day.
You
Today
need to get
is
it out, right?
special.
Yeah.
Today is sacred. Today we're gonna settle this whites versus black thing in the next 45 minutes via
Most
a
rational
floor hockey
possible
game.
way. Floor
Right.
hockey.
It was oddly moving.
People like don't 70s and 80s school back then and mixed race, because I don't think a lot of people realize like a lot of those were, I wouldn't say newly integrated, but those were schools that had just been integrated within the last 10 years. you know.
At least
Um,
substantially, if not, like legally, like they were substantially integrated in the south suburbs of Chicago, even though they had never been segregated. But they,
mhm.
it didn't matter in 1968. By 1978, it mattered. Now there was a
Right.
lot more residents. There were a lot more black residents in my area, so the school was genuinely integrated, de facto, and it just got down to rock and roll versus disco. That was most of the trouble. But occasionally, as we got a little older, it got into like who's dating, who's girlfriends, and stuff like that, and a bit more troubley, but a little more
In
fractious.
my
But
high school, it was the Freaks.
rock and roll disco, yes,
It was
freaks.
like, right, the Freaks, which were about stoners.
Yep.
And yeah, and
Mine
it
too.
was like what was
Yeah.
yours? And the
Freaks, jocks,
disco or
blacks.
something? Or the,
Freaks, jocks, blacks.
no, it was like,
Rednecks. We had
it was like
rednecks.
Freaks on one side, Latinos on the other, and then blacks would go through both. Blacks had free pass. So they can go on the disco side, which is Puerto Rican Mexican, or they can go on the freak side, which was the white stoners and white people.
Do you guys have
So
a
it's
black
just-
stoner at your school that wore an army jacket? And
We
greased
had
hair out?
one. We just had one. Yep, one
had
dude, one burnout
Mm.
who would hang out with them. Yep. We would always go.
We
You gonna go
had-
back with them?
Yeah.
Okay, you made your
We had
choice.
one redneck. We had a redneck burnout named Junior.
Oh.
I became good friends with him. He loved getting high. He was the only redneck who got high, so he came and snuck around with the freaks once in a while.
Oh, you had a redneck. Yeah, that's great. So your redneck would join up with the freaks every once in a while. That's pretty great.
And I got to ask him every question, like, "Do you have to listen to country music? Like, why?"
Yeah,
He's like,
how does
"I was
it work?"
raised-" He's like, "Hey, man, I was raised that way." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I wanted to know how it worked."
But I mean, but George
Like-
Jones, like you're
Yeah.
13. How could you possibly like that?
I know. He liked all that
Conway
stuff.
Twitty? You're a 12-year-old kid. What does Conway
He
Twitty
had the-
say to you?
I know. Like I get Freddie Fender and like people and the newer people, but
Freddie Fender.
these old people.
I like Conway.
You gotta be
Twitty
shitting
now.
me.
I remember the most confusing thing in the world was Charlie Pride. It was a black country singer that ruled
So great.
and somehow
Sense.
swam past
Great.
racism.
Yeah.
No, he
Somehow
broke the machine.
It was
He
a
broke
light
it.
wave that hit him.
yeah.
Huh?
He broke everyone's mind. No one could
Yeah.
handle it.
Yeah.
Charlie Pride just
Yeah,
broke
'cause-
the whole thing.
And he was like he was an icon. He was an icon.
What
I mean, it
is
was just.
happening?
I mean, he would tell you like,
Yeah.
well, this music has its roots in in slave music and all this stuff too. Just as much as rhythm and blues does, but nobody really thought about it that way then.
I think black people invented music.
Period.
But that's
Listenable
that's
music.
my stand.
It definitely invented listenable music.
Yeah, have you heard that stuff from China? Whoa.
Well, you know what though? It's like the music. It's at a time when music was being played by normal people.
Right, exactly.
When music wasn't just the air. The thing of
Oh,
aristocracy.
not for
wasn't-
the elite. Not
Yeah.
for,
Wasn't
the, for the
academized.
common man. Something you could dance to. Something that was for everybody, all ages.
So yeah, a drum and a guitar. No, I can't go make a harpsichord, but I can make a guitar and a drum.
Yeah, if a kid was musically inclined when my dad was a kid, they would have learned violin or piano. If a kid was musically inclined when my brother was a kid, they would have had their own garage band.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I think it's
you get it out. You get your yayas out, as the Rolling Stones once so eloquently said.
Yeah,
Get your
my
yayas
grandfather's
out.
generation.
It's as
The
normal as
violin,
it gets.
violin was the thing. It was the ultimate instrument. It was the dream of every parent to have their kid play. Every boy was supposed to play violin. They wanted all their daughters to play piano.
I have to say,
I love the
I met
comment.
Little Richard, and the hardest hands I've ever shook in my life. His hands were like stones. Seriously, like, because he was just like, oh, and he was like really frail and old by the time I met him, and it was like, oh my god,
He turned leather in.
And that's all scale. That's all like what do you call it? Like
Calluses.
calluses from beating on the piano.
beating
That's
on the piano.
amazing.
Yeah.
It's like
And gnarled too,
wow.
gnarled
So
up,
they were just like
gnarled up, and back then probably all arthritic, and
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were like
gnarled
blocks.
into
They
his
were like
favorite
blocks of
chords,
clay
though.
just falling on piano keys. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. They formed the
They're
big
like
chord
heavy
that
ass
they used
Twinkies.
most
His
often.
hands are like heavy Twinkies.
Raj, remember we went to Defara and that old man? He doesn't make the pies anymore, but his hands were shaped
shaped
in
like
the form of a pizza
like the dough.
crust. Yeah,
Yeah, he
That's all you can
had
do with them now.
he had
they had gnarled.
calluses so good that he'd reach in the oven and pull your pizza out
With
and
his
put it on a
hands,
table with his hands.
Oh,
he
that's
had
crazy.
his
And that,
hand was an oven mitt. Yeah, he didn't use the
yeah,
wooden thing.
That's crazy.
and a very generous amount of olive oil. Just a little something if you're making pizza.
Well, yeah,
Be free
yeah,
with the olive oil.
Yeah.
This holiday season, a lot of people have Christmas pizza, and get the expensive olive oil from Trader Joe's and go to town. That's all I'm saying. This is my recommendation for you.
Is that
Well,
your
my wife
Christmas
is
gift
Italian.
to us?
On Christmas Eve, we have a big Italian dinner on Christmas Eve.
Is it seafood?
No, just anything. Like pasta and Italian food.
Yeah. In Chicago, my relatives that were Italian had they would have New Year's Eve was fish, and then Christmas was whatever.
The fish, yeah.
This big
What is that,
to-do.
Kevin? Is that some Catholic thing? Must be.
I had a lot of people I knew did this, and I don't remember there's a name for it and everything, and I don't remember it, unfortunately.
Yeah, the big fish. They have like 7 kinds of fish.
Yeah.
What's in
this is significance to all of it, and each
It's in that
course
show,
has
The Bear.
90 of them or whatever. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Right, it would be. It's a real phenomenon. That ethnic, like we're from the northern band of all of us. We're from that northern band of the United States where ethnic Catholics have their own, specific, ways of doing things, and especially around the holidays. And we learned about it from the kids we grew up with, and it was. I thought it was.
Yeah,
really
people
Do you
don't.
like any?
People
Yeah,
on a
we always
country don't
Dorf
know
doesn't
St.
eat
Patrick's
fish
Day.
anymore.
Christmas Eve. My mom still makes lasagna on Christmas Eve. We're totally Irish. We have a regular Christmas dinner,
Yeah.
but for some reason, Italian seemed the thing to do on Christmas Eve.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, lasagna is great. Your mom's lasagna obviously is awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
But then
that sounds fantastic.
then I got a kidney diet, and she tried to modify it to like make it. You get like your invalid plate, There's like there's the real version and the invalid version,
Right. Yeah.
And nobody would touch the low sodium one. They wanted the one with all the meat in it.
Yeah. Let Sicko have his rice pudding. We're
Yeah.
gonna have lasagna.
Yeah, we have the tofu zucchini,
The hospital food.
low sodium, or we have the sausage.
Yeah, you got the Woody Guthrie lasagna.
I'm still thinking your mom's lasagna sounds like a euphemism.
Sometimes it is. Hey, why don't you go eat your mom's lasagna?
Don't talk about my fucking mother, man. Your mom's got great lasagna.
I guarantee you your dad's lasagna is a definite euphemism for sure. Your mom's lasagna might just be lasagna, but your dad's lasagna is a sex thing.
Yeah, I know my dad's lasagna because you get it out of a microwave.
Exactly. Dad cooking you anything. Except me. I'm a good cook.
No
my dad,
problem.
Anytime my dad decided to cook anything, it
Stokers.
was like, you know what? Let's just not do that. Why don't we just not eat? My father would be like, ugh. It was always a fucking chore.
I think there's been a trade-off between our folks and us, which is I'll learn how to cook, and you keep learning how to repair a broken generator. Like you can do that, and I'll just learn how to cook.
I guess. I mean, yeah, because like my dad, like both my parents worked, probably as both of ours did, or a lot of ours did, and but my dad just didn't. With the cooking, just wasn't. No.
Same
Dad can
thing.
make
No,
it happen,
all
but what
frozen
he's really-
dinners.
My
The exception,
dad
though,
could
on the
handle
cooking
it.
for my dad, because my dad was incredibly cheap and he loved to fish. So if ever he bought a fish, it had to be eaten. And to eat it, you got to cook it first. So we
Yeah.
had to suffer through a lot of fishes that
Dude.
were usually cooked big batches at a time.
I had to clean
In the
fish. I hate. My
discount,
dad would
on the
come home with
discount
fish.
ice.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to clean fish.
I hated that. My dad would be like, "All right,
Well,
I'm gonna eat fish." I'm like,
you got to gut them.
"Yeah."
Well,
Good.
when my mom used to cook all the time, and she worked like a full-time job, so my poor mom always had to cook. But when she went through menopause, I remember it was like fish sticks from the freezer for like 4 days a week. My dad would be like, "Your mother is having a time, so please don't be assholes and eat the fish
We had a lot of
sticks."
fish sticks. Well,
Yeah.
my mom was at work. We were supposed to cook the fish sticks because all you had to do was throw them in
Yeah.
the oven. Mom
I
was
did a
always
lot
Right.
of that
She'd
too.
make a bunch of rice. And then you were told how to heat it and
How to heat it
you'd
up.
put the
Yeah.
fish sticks
That's
in the
not cooking.
microwave.
That's
Yeah.
heating. Yeah, that is heating. That is not cooking. There's a
Yep.
difference. So we learned to heat all kinds of stuff, including
Fish
these
bone.
miserable Chef Boyardee homemade pizzas, which were really absolutely disgusting.
My God, this guy gets better and better. He just made a fishbone reference.
Lunar, I'm friends with Angelo, by the way. I know him.
I
Man.
love that man so much. It just occurred to me about 2 weeks ago. I was telling my brother in a text 2 weeks ago. I first saw Angelo Moore and Fishbone play in 1985 in Chicago. I thought they were rock stars, of course, and I thought it's a great time seeing this happen. I was 20. Well, I was not even 21. I was like 19. They were only a year older than me. Like Angelo
Yeah,
Moore is a year
exactly.
older than me.
Yeah, he's
It's
only
like,
your
I saw them
own.
open.
The only
I
real-
saw them open. I saw them open for Beastie Boys on the
Aragon.
that first tour,
Uh-huh.
and they had some woman in there, and this woman on stage who had big tits, and they were playing with her tits, and I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? Even then, I was like, what the fuck is going on in here?
I think
It was too
Raj,
much for me.
I think we're at the
Yeah.
same show then, because the show the show you probably saw was the one I was at. It was the Aragon Ballroom, and it was Fishbone, the Beastie Boys, and Murphy's Law.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
was
see Murphy's Law, but yes.
Yeah, that was a very odd bill. Even at the time, we were like, "This is going to be an interesting mix tonight of fans," because Murphy's Law, Fishbone, and Beastie Boys is going to draw a lot of wise asses
Just-
from 3 different sectors of the wise ass
yes.
universe.
Wise ass.
Yeah, a lot of wise assery.
A lot of people like
Yeah.
a lot of people that get the joke from different fucking corners of the universe.
And let me tell you, that crowd did not disappoint. That was part
That
of
was
the
a
fun
good
that
ass
night.
show.
It was a great show. It was just
Sounds like Raj left
non-design.
early. Raj leaves all shows early, so it's not
No, I
surprising
didn't.
that he didn't get to the final
He
act.
didn't leave.
No, Murphy's Law must have opened for Fishbone because I walked in
Must
with
have.
Fishbone. Before
Yeah, they went
Fishbone,
first.
and then they started playing with some women's titties, and I was like, "This is too much for me." I'm like, I like rock and roll and everything, but this is like, some kind of assault. I don't know what this is. I was too. Even at that, I was like 18. I just wasn't ready for that.
Jerry,
That's
have
what
you
I
seen
saw when I
Angelo
saw
perform
Meatloaf.
lately?
Meatloaf making out with that.
Oh,
girl.
Fishbone? I've seen
No, just Angelo at
Angelo.
all.
Yeah. Well, it's been a few
his is-
years. I used to see him a lot. Like he'd do like a lot of poetry slams and stuff. You see him around L.A. Just hanging around doing spoken word, or at a comedy show. He might show up. Like trying to do something. He's just like a
It's
dude
like
that's
local
always trying to
royalty.
do something.
Yeah. I've seen him in Hollywood a couple times, just like being around, like eating where I was eating and stuff like that. It's just like,
He'll talk to you.
wonderful. Angelo. Oh,
He'll
he's
talk
so
to you.
nice.
He won't stop.
Great. I saw him getting on the red line with his bike. That was the
Oh,
first
yeah.
time I
Yeah,
saw
yeah.
him. When I first moved here, I was like, Angelo Moore's getting on the red line with his bike.
With
It's like
the
that.
bike.
Yeah.
That makes you more approachable when you've got a bike on the
Yeah, he's
subway.
hauling a fucking bike with him, and he's like doing his thing. I was just like, what a guy.
Yeah. It's just like
I
when you
used to
see.
see Rick Ocasek riding around on his bike in town.
Wesley Willis.
Yeah, Wesley Willis in Chicago.
Wesley
I lived by
at the
Astor
Hollywood
Place,
Grill.
I saw a lot of Ocasek. Yep.
He's
I saw
he's
There was a
impossible to
Hollywood
miss.
Grill.
Astor Place.
There's a Hollywood Grill that was open like 24 hours in Chicago, and then we'd go there after drinking because it was open, and it was very far west, and it was called the Hollywood Grill, and it was not near Hollywood Street. It was not near anything that would look like Hollywood. It was just randomly, and then it had like, of course, Marilyn Monroe painted on the walls, and Tony Curtis and shit.
Oh no.
And that's where Wesley Willis
don't
would
sell-
talk to me.
Yeah, Wesley was there often, and the Hollywood had not just it wasn't just that they had Hollywood figures. I'll just be brief on this. They had a giant mural, and you know that it didn't make sense spatially or in the real world, but so where the Hollywood sign, the mural is depicting the setting of the Hollywood sign, and there are people looking at the Hollywood sign from a higher escarpment somehow. So that's not
You're looking
real,
down on
but
it?
okay. So they're looking down on it. So the people who are looking down on it are all dead people. So it's Elvis, Marilyn Monroe, Jim Morrison, James Dean, of course, and Judy Garland. All friends in the wild, as we know.
That's the Hollywood the greatest celebrities of the time that died.
All died too young.
Right, and I guess they're looking down from a let's just say a mythic place, and I don't know, but they're like looking down, like they're looking at it like, oh man, the Hollywood sign, this is great. I'm like, you guys are hanging out in heaven. Who gives a shit about the Hollywood sign?
Hollywood sign.
Really?
They're looking over it. They're looking over us all. They're like,
Yeah.
I think the message of that mural is that they're looking over us like good spirits.
Yeah.
Looking over Hollywood?
Angels. They're angels. They're showbiz angels.
You're drunk and eating French toast at 3 a.m. Yes, my children.
They're overseeing the Warner Brothers sale.
You know it. Judy
they're all-
Garland's right there
Oh, God.
next to
Jimi
Jim
Hendrix is
Morrison
a
saying,
huge fan of this acquisition. You got to do it. It just makes sense. Bottom line perspective, it makes sense.
Who's at the estate? Is that Jimi Hendrix estate?
No, Jimi Hendrix, the man,
Hendrix himself looking
the
down.
artist
in heaven.
He's just like,
He's
you
just
gotta
a big
do
fan.
this.
Oh yeah.
Just
It's like
Or if he was alive.
he's like, it's one thing about, if you want to be creative, this is business, and you got to let Skydance buy these guys. He's become he's become a lot more practical.
Yeah.
I kind of don't like this term, but use it as a metaphor. But who would you put on your Mount Rushmore as far as dead Hollywood legends? I'm going to say Belushi is one. Is that big for the whole world or not really?
Oh, so
Well, he didn't make a lot of movies. He didn't make a lot of movies. I mean, as far
Maybe
as
not.
comedy.
Maybe not. Judy Garland for sure.
Each one of our-
but for the world, no.
Are we allowed 4, like the real Mount Rushmore? Just 4?
Yeah, 4.
How
Yeah.
many of them are joke ones? Like if I want to do Manson, like how many?
At least
joke
one.
ones?
At least one.
Just one. Okay. One. So one joke one. Okay.
You have to represent
It's a
old
Manson.
school Hollywood, what it means, the heart of Hollywood to an alien who's just landed. Who are your
Right.
examples?
That's fun. I was just at the Formosa the other night, and I was looking at all those pictures up there on the wall. It's funny that that's still there.
I know.
Like it's just getting like all that stuff that's getting built up around there. There's like a studio next door. See Kevin Hart's like sign up there, whatever his production company, and then there's that mall that's there, and there's a little Formosa still there. But they got all those pictures up there. I was looking at some of the pictures. I forgot about a bunch of these people, and these are people that I grew up with and I knew who were Hollywood stars. And I'm like, I don't think about Robert
Yeah,
Mitchum.
you know.
Right. Victor Mature.
Judy
And
Garland.
I mean, the Formosa must be owned by a famous dude that like keeps it from being gobbled up into something, right?
Yeah, or it's like you know,
Or it's a
city
landmark.
whatever. Yeah, it's a city
Might be a landmark.
It must be. It's been in movies and stuff, you know.
I have only one name at the moment, but that's because I have a certain movie on the brain. Quick point about it is I think Boris Karloff belongs because not only I really this is sincere. Like my answer would change every day. By the way, like my four faces would be different
Yeah.
every day if you asked me every day.
Boris Karloff, yeah.
Today I've got Boris Karloff on the brain because I'm going to see Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein tonight. I'm going today to see it. So I'll be thinking about Boris Karloff a lot before I see Frankenstein at 6:40.
Okay.
But Boris, I watched The Mummy with my brother like last month when I was in Chicago. So good, so awesome, so fucking scary and weird.
Which
and cool.
Mummy?
Mhm.
And
The old
of
one.
course, the
original?
also Mummy.
One of the big moments in the movie, all he does is open his fucking eyes, and it's so chilling. And there's no special effects. The guy just opens his fucking eyes, and you're like you're pieces.
And then the
Right?
dissolve.
Am I
Like,
wrong about that? Am I wrong about
this
that?
the
moment?
second
right.
best devolve ever is
Dissolve.
the mummy face of his face becoming that.
The Mummy.
And that's a great dissolve. It's not as good as the Wolfman dissolve, which is tops, but it's a great dissolve. Like, it's great.
Wolfman is the best.
It's so chilling. It's so funny.
Yeah, it gets a little blurry, and it moves a little bit.
Yeah.
It overlaps a little bit.
What's that?
Beautiful.
Lon Chaney, which is another good actor. Lon Chaney had that like pained face. Like his face always looked like he was in pain. He was perfect for the Wolfman. Like,
I'm sorry,
Lon
guys,
Chaney
I just gotta
Jr.
bring up.
Lon Chaney
I got to
Jr.
bring up the fact that Jimmy Page did the dissolve in the Led Zeppelin movie Song Remains the Same when he's the hermit, climbs the mountain,
Yeah.
and he becomes the old man. And you know, some of the
Let's see.
stages, they kind of blew it. So, like, there'll be a middle stage where it's like, hang on. And then, all right, now you're back on track.
Yeah.
Some of the
But
middle ones,
1930, right? What's like Wolfman was 1932 or some shit like
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, that was like
And Lon Chaney Jr.'s dad was a huge silent movie star, and he was the man of a thousand faces.
The Phantom
So
of the
it's just ironic that his son
Yeah.
now becomes the mummy. And
Raj,
that's
were
like
we-
beautiful.
That Creature Features bumper shot that we grew up with on Channel 9, that's Lon Chaney Sr.
Yes.
The Man of
What
a Thousand
movie is
Faces.
that?
Lon
Dr.
Chaney's
Caligari's-
makeup- His
Phantom
makeup
of the
kit
Opera.
is the holy grail of Hollywood makeup collectors.
So then they have
Yeah.
this troubled dude, Lon Chaney Jr., who, like Jerry said, just had this downtrodden, like, poor fucking guy. And he must have been really feeling that way because he does it really well. He must have just been like this troubled alcoholic getting through this thing. Like,
And
the
it's so
director's probably
great
like, when you
because
become the Wolfman is when you're like super, super drunk.
he's trying to explain, and unforgettably, he's trying to explain to Abbott and Costello the pain, the horrible plight of being cursed this way. And he says, "You don't understand. When the moon turns full, I turn into a wolf." And Bud goes, "Yeah, you and 30 million other guys." And it's just like, it's so fucking great. It's so funny because he's really sincere, and Abbott and Costello don't give a flying fuck. And they don't believe it. And they don't even believe him. It's great.
other guys.
Yeah.
I get, and also, Abbott was like, I guess Abbott was very, very into porn, even in the old days. So he would have like the nudie cuties at his house, like, all right, fellas, everybody come down on Saturday. But of course, Bud's like, I'm not gonna do that shit. He's weird. It's too weird. But the straight one was the porn enthusiast.
And Lou was like was he like a Catholic or like a?
Lou was just a regular Italian dude, He was like, fuck that. I don't know. That's too weird. But Man Ray was there, and the guy that killed. The guy that killed Black Dahlia was there. It was that kind of group.
You know, watch the girly movies with us. It's Friday night.
And then go do it for real at Man Ray's house. What? I'm going home to my wife, you crazy motherfucker.
Bud would be going to the Formosa to actually pick up a woman and have sex.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna watch a girly movie at your house with a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
Not when there's the Formosa.
Yeah, he's gonna go. He's out there pee hounding with Mickey Rooney.
Right? Lou,
Mickey Rooney was the biggest horn dog in Hollywood, apparently.
Well, yeah.
Look at me being all
But
Hollywood gossip bitchy Horatio.
we got married a million times.
On the Lon Chaney Jr. thing, that's where Woody Tobias Jr. on SCTV came from. His father was Woody Tobias Sr., who was the stand-in for Hunchback of Notre Dame. He was a famous stand-in of all the great hunchbacks. He was the greatest hunchback stand-in in Hollywood. And Woody follows his father's footsteps, trying to get in, and no, not until he found Dr. Tongue did things start to work.
That's right, Dr. Tongue.
Well, John Candy.
Eugene Levy was my favorite in the right time. He was my absolute favorite.
Yeah, me too. Me too. He had too many good characters.
And the backstories, the backstories were always so good. And I don't know. He's just such a really, really polished talent as well.
He was kind of the Michael Palin of SCTV, because Palin sucked up all the good parts. He was a really good actor, and he just had that funny way about him. And even though Joe Flaherty was the anchor, and it was really Eugene who sucked up most of the just a lot of the parts. He fit the part, fit the mold of a lot of kind of people.
Well, him and Flaherty, they were both pretty active.
Yeah, like the anchors,
Man.
And then Candy was the star when he was on.
Right. That was the triangle, Candy being the one who was always going to bring it home. And then you had the other two. You had Levy and Flaherty really pinning it down. But although Levy was much more character-based, Flaherty was always Flaherty somehow. Even as
you can say the collaboration is like a herald.
Sorry,
Delaney.
CTV talk. I just wanted to call out the fact that Lon Chaney Jr. Inspired Woody Tobias Jr.
Am I going to be the first? Am I going to be the first guy to see Frankenstein around here?
No, I saw it.
Yes.
You saw it?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
I think my wife saw it.
Okay.
They're doing stuff with.
You don't sound enthused.
Me? I'm
No,
wildly
Jerry.
enthusiastic. This is.
No, Jerry doesn't sound like he was enthused.
I want to see it, but it's something I can wait. I'm actually more enthusiastic about the Bride movie that's coming out. There's a Bride of Frankenstein movie coming out next year.
Who's doing that
Why
one?
should I be excited about this?
Maggie Gyllenhaal wrote it. What's that?
Why should I be excited about the new Frankenstein coming out?
It closely adheres to the book.
To the book, yeah.
Ooh,
that's what I'm excited about.
Sign.
That's what I like.
Yeah, right.
I like
it
maybe
when
that
it's got a
bookie.
chance to be good. Yeah.
All right, Boris Karloff is my one guy. I only have one
Okay.
guy to give you. It's Boris Karloff. He's going on my Mount Rushmore. My iPad's almost out of juice. You guys
I'm about
hash out the rest
to.
of Mount Rushmore.
Been on for a little bit. I'm gonna wrap it up with I don't know, with making with forcing Horatio to do his Christmas
feels
song.
right.
With seeing how much we can press Horatio doing his Christmas song, and seeing if he really will.
I'll sing a little bit. You can leave if you need to.
I just got to go somewhere at noon. That's all. I do good.
Once again, my guitar's out of tune. Like I said,
Kate Hepburn.
a lot of the aesthetic of this song is imperfection.
Whoops.
I don't care what the neighbors say. Christmas time is near. I don't care what you think anymore. Christmas is full of
I can't do it.
cheer. All I know is that Santa's sleigh is making its way to the USA. I wish it was Christmas today. I wish it was Christmas today.
Oh,
Solo.
you got it. All right.
There you go. Merry Christmas, everybody.
There you go.
Bingo,
Noise canceling kind
dingo.
of it, but there you go. Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
got
we'll see you
canceled.
again before
You
then,
got,
but that was nice.
noise canceled.
Joy Noel. Well
Noise
done.
canceled.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah,
Thanks,
the
Kevin.
podcast is canceled.
Be good, you guys. Until next week.
Okay. Peace, everyone. Peace on earth.
And goodwill.